How to become a construction scheduler. Do you want to know if this great role is for you? And if so, what are the trade secrets that make this work? What are the rules you got to follow to do this position well? And what are the key resources that you'll want to check out? Stay with us to find out. All right, so we're going to get right into it. This is my jam, okay? So I want you to know that I've scheduled literally dozens of projects, probably hundreds, but that sounds kind of dramatic. I have worked with scheduling teams. I have led a very large scheduling department before, and I feel very well versed on construction scheduling. And so I want you to know that I treasure and value the position of scheduler in construction. I really, really do. I just don't want it to be perverted, and it gets perverted, or meaning the role isn't done right when the scheduler is doing the planning and scheduling for the superintendent. If the superintendent and project manager are planning and scheduling their project and using a scheduler's wisdom, technological savvy, and smarts and time to aid and support the project team, that's totally fine. But doing it for them is a no for me, because superintendents, there's no way, it's just not possible for a super to run a project well if they don't plan it and schedule it themselves, even if that means with help. If they broker it, if they delegate that to someone else, they will have a dumpster fire project. That's just a historical fact. And so please, please, please don't ever get in that position. But I do want you to know that I love the position of scheduler. In fact, at LeanTact, the scheduling arm of Elevate, we have a number of just wonderful people. I think we're up to, right now, as this video is being recorded, we're up to 28 people that work there. One interesting thing is I respect their role and what they do so much. We actually don't call them schedulers. We call them process improvement engineers, because it really is an engineering position. They're engineering the software, they're engineering the plan and schedule, they're engineering strategies, right? And they're not just scheduling something, they're improving the process. They're improving the process from pre-con all the way to construction, through last planner, getting everyone rowing in the same direction on the project site. So they really are improving the process from start to finish all the time. So the title of scheduler is fine, but I respect them so much, I call our people process improvement engineers. And you can really improve processes and benefit and bless people if you're there doing work through them. And so what I tell our folks in our company, which is essentially a scheduling and project controls company, is we never do it for them. We will either train them or do it with them. So let me just say that again. We will never do it for them. We will either train them or do it with them. That way the body of knowledge, the mindsets, the key strategies, the leadership of this schedule and plan on the project site rests with the super and the PM. And if you do it this way, you'll end up being more of a support to the project team than a hindrance, right? If you are taking planning from the leaders and disconnecting it, that hurts the project. If you're enabling them with technology and wisdom, you're helping. So let's go through the 8 steps of how to become a construction scheduler. Number 1, take time to learn construction scheduling. This is actually a big one for me, and I'm not dissing on anybody. I'm just saying it's a problem when we don't do it right. I have heard of schedulers saying, hey, right out of college, I got thrown right into a scheduling position, started scheduling projects, and here I am today, right? And I'm like, well, hold on a minute. Like, where's the builder experience? Have you ever spent time out in the field? Have you ever been a field engineer? Have you ever been with the workers? Have you ever been a foreman? Do you know what it's like to be on their end? If not, the risk is that you come at it from a purely data-driven and analytical standpoint without concern for the foreman and the workers out in the field. And we don't want that. So learn construction, get some good builder experience. In fact, I'm going to give a shout out. When I was at Oakland, they would run their scheduling team through the field engineer and project manager and superintendent boot camps so that they could get experience that way in addition to the other builder experience that they had. It was absolutely fantastic. I would recommend that for anyone. Number 2, learn lean and production theory, meaning that you cannot just go into scheduling and learn about Gantt charts and learn about waterfall schedules. You can't just learn CPM. You have got to know about lean methodologies, lean thinking. You're going to have to know the TAC production system. You're going to have to know Last Planner, and you're going to have to know Scrum at a minimum. There are other systems, there are other technologies out there that are available to you, but you cannot come at construction scheduling from a CPM background. You have to come at scheduling from a lean background, and then that lean background will feed into every other single thing that you do. I'm not trying to make anyone mad, but Gantt charts and CPM schedules are not lean schedules. They have actually nothing to do with lean or production. And so we can't get hung up on those mentalities, the concept of a critical path, float, no float, everything being logic driven, right? We can't come from that mindset and then go implement a production system in the field. So you must learn lean, you must learn lean scheduling, which includes TACT, Last Planner, and Scrum. I highly recommend you read The Toyota Way, The Goal, Critical Chain, This is Lean, The Lean Builder, and TACT Planning and Integrated Control, or the new book about TACT planning from me, Jason Schroeder. So I hope those books really help. The fourth suggestion that I would give you is to learn these concepts in a specific order. If you're like, okay, Jason, yeah, I'll learn Gantt charts, CPM, I'll learn about pull planning, I'll learn Last Planner, I'll learn TACT. There is actually a order. I prefer TACT, then Last Planner, then learn Scrum, then learn Gantt charts, then learn CPM at the end. And then if you learn them in that order, you will have the right mindset and the mental frame to go schedule projects properly with the superintendents and to really be an asset to the team. Number 5, have standards as a scheduler. I know schedulers that will say, hey, I just put that in because the super told me to, or hey, I'm doing it their way because that's what the owner wanted, right? As a human, as an individual, we must have moral and ethical standards, right? So having standards, in my opinion, is key. If I was running a scheduling department for a company right now, I would literally direct everyone, hey, we do not hurt workers. We do not stack. We do not trade burden, right? We do not create situations that will hurt families, right? We do not do unethical, dishonest things where we're lying in the schedule. We do not have 2 schedules, right? We do not hide information, like I said before. I would have standards as an individual. And that's fine. If somebody, the superintendent or the PM, wanted to do something dishonest, they can go get another schedule because I am not going to do it. So I recommend that you have standards that you live by. Number 6, all schedules must be visible. So if you're going to develop into a great scheduler, you must use scheduling systems that get it to where the people can see it. I do not care about the data or the schedule. I care that you have a correct schedule, which it can only happen if everyone can see it and review it and make it right. And I only care about a schedule that the workers and foremen can use, which means it must be visible. So do not waste your time creating toilet paper schedules. Please make sure that they are 100% visible and that people can see them to make them right and that people can see them to implement them in the field. Number 7, work with the builder. Be an advocate. Form a relationship. Find the right meeting times. Find the right methods and really partner in pairs so you can be a support. But again, don't do it for them because they must have the plan not only on paper out in the field, but also in their head. So the only thing worse than a super having the plan in his or her head is having the plan only in the scheduler's head and in the software. What we really should be doing is having the plan in the super's head and on paper for everyone to see. And 8, get it all the way to the field, just like I just said. So your workers and foremen must have a day plan every day that they can follow so they know what is to be done, they know what is expected, and that it came from a collaborative plan through the Last Planner system. And so there is a method to this. And speaking of coming through things, I really hope that you came through this video through the fact that you subscribed to the channel. If not, can you do that right now? But I really just want to say that there is a method to becoming a great scheduler. If you learn these things that I'm telling you about right now, you can make so much money and have so much fun. And so in the description below, I'm going to link you to some of these resources for trainings and some of these books that you can use to support your career as you become a construction scheduler. On we go.